What is up, everybody? This is Famous. Welcome to another Pokemon Go episode. In today's episode, we are going to be settling the year-long debate of who is the best team in Pokemon Go. And that's an easy one because we all know the answer is... Before we get into the episode, I am currently doing a giveaway, and once I reach 3,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away one of these. A Pokemon portable charger for your phone so you can get out there and play Pokemon Go in style with something Pokemon related, and the winner would get to choose whichever one they want. All you have to do to enter that episode is subscribe, like the video, and then comment hashtag team, whatever team you are on or think is the best in Pokemon Go. So Team Instinct, Team Valor, or Team Mystic. Go ahead and comment that below. And then if you would just like to buy one of those chargers, I have a link in the description as well. But without further ado, let's get into the video. There are 3 teams in Pokemon Go, but only one of them is going to be claimed the victor of 2017. So before we get started, let's go ahead and take a look briefly at the teams and how they are described, and also the team leaders, information like that. So up first, we have Team Instinct. That is the yellow team. The leader is Spark. Pokemon are creatures with excellent intuition. I bet the secret to their intuition is related to how they're hatched. You never lose when you trust your instincts. Up next, we have none other than Team Valor. That is the red team. The leader is Candela. Pokemon are stronger than humans, and they're warm-hearted too. I'm researching ways to enhance Pokemon's natural powers in the pursuit of true strength. There's no doubt that the Pokemon our teams have trained are the strongest in battle. And then last but not least, we have Team Mystic. That is the blue team. The leader is Blanche. The wisdom of Pokemon is immeasurably deep. I am researching why it is that they evolve with our calm analysis of every situation we can't lose. So we are here today to decide who is going to take the #1 spot. The best thing that we can do is to actually go look at Pokemon Go Twitter to see all of the polls and everything that has been tweeted out over the past as some type of reference for some statistics. So when the grass type event came out, you'll see here that Team Mystic won as far as the most people voting. But does that actually mean anything? If you check out the next one, this is the stuff that actually matters. Congratulations to Team Mystic. You caught the most grass-type Pokemon during the event at 116 million grass-type Pokemon, with Team Instinct in last at 72 million, and then Team Valor in second at 102 million. And yet another poll comes out with Team Mystic thinking that they are the best. But that would just be too simple to just simply say that Team Mystic is the best, right? We need to consider something else, because we need to know what is the actual breakout of teams in the game. You might actually not be surprised by this, but Team Mystic is actually the largest team in the game. So when they pull out some stats that is larger than the other team, that's really not a fair comparison considering the percentages of the other teams. The actual team breakout of it is 43% is Team Mystic, 25% is Team Instinct, and 32% is Team Valor. So that is very important, because when we move throughout this, we are going to take that into consideration as far as the size of the team goes, because we want to know not only who is the best team, but who is the best player on a team down to a player average. When we actually dig into the statistics and we're looking at the stats of the grass event, we will notice that there is 290 million Pokemon that were caught combined from the event. And we remembered the percentages of how they were made out, so let's actually take it down to a per percentage basis of how the teams actually performed. You might actually be surprised by this, but Team Instinct caught 25% of the Pokemon, and they are 25%. So they get a flat 0%. That means that they were performing at an average rate of what their team size is. And then surprisingly, Team Mystic performed at 3% lower than what they need to be. So the team size is 43%, but they performed at a 40% overall basis during the grass event. And last but not least is Team Valor actually outscored all of the other two teams combined by gaining 3% increase compared to their total team size. It is also important to mention the legendaries. Now, at this point in time, we haven't really talked about that or considered it, but this is an extremely important point to make. As it stands in the game, people believe that the legendary Pokemon, once they come out, they are going to be siloed to each individual team. So Team Mystic is going to be paired up with Articuno, Team Instinct is going to be paired up with Zapdos, and then Team Valor is going to be paired up with Moltres. And in that case, it is believed to be that you will not be able to get the other two unless you do some type of trading once the trading gets involved. So how can that be though? We need to consider this as a factor into the game. Because if a majority of players in the game have Articuno, that basically makes it irrelevant. At least not to Moltres, right? Because it will have the type advantage. And then we also need to consider the fact that Team Instinct is going to be the lesser of the two. And it actually has a type effectiveness against Team Mystic, meaning that it will have a type advantage over the majority of one of the teams over the other. And to have the majority over the biggest team in the game could be an absolutely huge factor to make it to be considered one of the best teams in Pokemon Go at this point in time. So Team Mystic, watch out, because Team Instinct is on the rise. They've got the type advantage, and that is not all we need to consider. That is just a major point that I definitely needed to include in the video. So let's go ahead and move on to the final rankings. So when we take a look at the final ranking system, I'm going to explain to you exactly why I chose what I chose. So up first in the number 3 spot is going to be Team Instinct. And the reason for that was because they did not make as much progress as I expected them to in the grass event. If they were able to outperform their actual percentage, then I would say that there is an arguable case to say that Team Instinct is definitely one of the teams that you want to be on and is in fact the number 1 team. But that is unfortunately not the case. But when we talk about the legendary Pokemon and potentially being siloed to the actual teams, Team Instinct is going to have a huge advantage and going to have the last laugh if that actually happens. So coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be Team Valor. So Team Valor has hung out at the number 2 spot since the very beginning of the game. They have been very consistent, and since the recent event of the grass event, they actually outperformed their team percentage of the overall game, which is very impressive, and that's what they need to do to actually outperform and overtake Team Mystic. Because at this point in time, we also have to consider how much of the original team percentages are still playing. I would say that for Team Valor and Team Instinct, that they are actually doing better at a retention rate than what Team Mystic is. And number 1 is in fact Team Mystic, simply because of their size currently in the game is just too vast for Instinct and Valor to overcome at an individual team level. But I would say that there are some indications that the drop-off for Team Mystic is actually steeper than the other two teams. And you saw it in the grass event where their overall percentage decreased 3%, which is a good indicator that they are underperforming at the percentage that they should, and they are more likely to experience an overall fall-off simply because of their actual team size. So congratulations to Team Mystic, you are currently the number 1 team in Pokemon Go. But if Pokemon Go were to release something where you could actually change teams or potentially introduce a new team such as Team Rocket, this may not be the case and it could be completely obsolete. And don't forget that the other two teams are always going to be on your tail. So we are about to end the episode, and we actually have a fan that submitted a video. We're going to go ahead and check that out in the video. And if you did like this, be sure to like and subscribe for more Pokemon Go content. And now a word from our sponsors. If you have seen PewDiePie, you've seen this guy because he is famous. So without further ado, let's take it away.
Go ahead and subscribe to Famous. He's a good guy. I did.